Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 11.1 Notes, Day 2. Today, blah blah blah. Today we're talking about simplifying, multiplying, and dividing radicals. Our learning target today is to be able to simplify, multiply, and divide monomial radicals with rationalizing. Now, properties of radicals. If you notice, we've got a nice little square root, and it's got a and b. Now, what we're supposed to do is to break that down. We cannot have a radical on the bottom, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. See, we cannot have a radical in the denominator. Okay, so when that happens, you need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the radical. Okay, and then we're going to reduce and simplify. So the best way to do this is to start going through some examples. Now, we learned the other day when we've got a square root over a fraction like this is that we break it down into two separate parts. Now, the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 64 is 8. Can we reduce that? No. So that's our answer. Okay, now let's look at the next one. We've got the square root of 25 over the square root of 3. Well, the square root of 25, which we just talked about, is 5, root 3. So we can't have that root in the bottom, so we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by it. Now, the bottom does not cancel, okay? If you want to get a calculator out so I can prove this to you, but say we have the square root of 3 times the square root of 3. Your answer is 3. It doesn't cancel, and this happens with any number, okay? If you're multiplying by the same, it just happens. The answer is what's inside of the radical, okay? So we're left with 3 on the bottom and 5 root 3. Can we reduce that? No. So that's your final answer, okay? Let's look at number 3. So we can't have the root in the bottom, and that changes to 6 root 2 over 2. And can you reduce? Yes, you can, because what's 6 divided by 2? We can reduce that. 6 divided by 2 is 3 root 2. Okay? So for number 4, you multiply the top and the bottom. The top turns to 10 root 6 over 6. Okay, and we can reduce 10 over 6. 10 over 6, if you divided both the top and the bottom by 2, you get 5 root 6 over 3. There, in case you're still working on it. Now, some of these we're going to have to break them down, okay? And the way we're going to do that, we're still going to multiply, because we want to get rid of the roots first. So that's 10 root 12 over 12. And I'm not going to simplify right away because I want to make sure we take care of that first. Okay, now, if you haven't done so already, you should write all of the perfect squares down. 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. And remember, those are just the first 12. All right, we are going to break down into 4 times 3 over 12. The square root of 4 is 2. That's the only thing that changed. We're going to multiply And now the last thing we're going to do is I want to simplify, okay? So we have to simplify that out. I believe 4 goes into both of those, so it's 5 root 3 over 3, okay? I know this is a lot of step, but it's just step by step by step. We're kind of breaking it down one at a time. All right, let's try number 6. Multiply both the top and the bottom by the root. And you get negative 2 over 18. Okay, we're not going to simplify yet. We're going to do that at the very end. So our next step is to break down 18, and that is 9 and 2. Okay, the square root of 9 is 3, and we still have that root 2. Multiply negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then everything else stays the same, guys. And now the last thing we're going to do is to reduce that fraction. And that's where we get negative root 2 over 3. Because what did I divide it by? I divided by 6. All right, number 7. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can try this one out, okay? Okay, did you guys get that far? Might be like, well, I forgot what to do next. Okay, the next thing you do is you split that square root. Okay, when you take 288, you start it at the very top with 144, and hey, it works. So it's 144 and 2. The square root of 144 is 12. And then the last thing to do is to reduce the fraction, and that's where we get 2 root 2. Okay? Number 8, you're all on your own. All on your own. I'm just going to put the answer up for the work. Okay? So pause it. Try it out. Good luck. Okay, and there you go. When you multiply 27 and 3, you get 81, and 81 is a perfect square, so that's where we get 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. All right, last one, number 9, or 9 and 10, I'm sorry. We only multiply by the radical, okay? So then we get negative 14 root 7 over 5 times 7. Okay, the top stays the same, and 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, we want to reduce that fraction. Okay, 7 goes into both of those, and you get negative 2 root 7 over 5. Okay, last one, number 10. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to get that up there, and you get negative 10, 125 over 5. Let's break down the perfect square, and that goes into 25 and 5. We're going to keep, going. Square root of 25 is 5, and we still have that root 5 out there. You might be like, well, Mr. Grice, look at 5 and 5, those cancel right away. Yeah, you can do that, okay? But even if you don't, you would get negative 50 by multiplying those out. Root 5 over 5 and then you would reduce that, and then, yeah, you get negative 10 root 5. Okay? Well, that's going to be it for Algebra 1, Chapter 11.1 Notes, Day 2. As always, if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, thanks for watching.